Hello there. We're getting there it is. Hey, good evening. Good evening. Good afternoon. It's a random, let's see if I got audio levels here. It's a random what do we say, Tuesday afternoon. Just checking in. Wanted to say hi to all of you. Gonna record episode 284. Not a lot of interaction. If you used to do a lot of interaction, this is a midday thing. I'm actually speaking really soon to a group of Army folks again through Operation Fat Dag. So I'm leaving here in about an hour. So going to make this super duper short. I'll check in, see real quick if I can see what's going on in the world. But more or less, I just want you to know that I'm here to just kind of deliver episode 284. And you get to watch it, watch the replay, and all that good stuff. So cool. Fair enough. I think it'll be fun. Let's see what's going on. So yeah, anyway, so game plan for that right now. Episode 284, I want to give you a quick little happy Thanksgiving message. Talk about I never made it to goal is the subject of this one. So let's go ahead. Let's not waste a lot of time. You guys feel free. We're live on Facebook, live on, believe we're live on YouTube, believe we're live on Twitter as well. So all of those things should get you go. So, no, maybe we're not live on. Maybe we're not live on YouTube. I don't know. I can't keep up with this technology stuff, but we're live on Facebook, and this will be in the app, so we're good to go there. So, cheers. Let's start this thing off right. FYI, just before I decided to record the show, I had a couple phone calls today with the Patreon community, and I drank a lot of water already today, so not enough room for that one. But let's do episode 284, shall we? And we're recording here. Audio levels look good there. Good afternoon. Good morning, really. Good morning, West Coast. Good morning, East Coast. Episode 284 is titled I Never Made It to Goal. Let's go ahead and do this, shall we? I am your host, Fat Dag. You're listening to Wise Advice. My weight loss journey failed when I focused on how. It wasn't until I hate when I do that. Let's start over. I am your host, Fat Dag. You're listening to Wise Advice. My weight loss journey failed when I focused on how. It wasn't until I switched my focus to why that I truly transformed myself. Join the show on the web at fatdag.com and follow along on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube, all at Wise Advice. Send in your comments, your questions, your celebrations. I'll include them as part of the show. But before we dive in, remember, when you're out of points, stop eating points. Hey, I'm honored to be your wingman as we walk through this journey together because I believe in you. That's right. I believe a lot of things. You are certainly one of them. So welcome to episode 284. Got a lot to share with you before we actually get into the actual recording of the podcast. So we're going to go ahead and we'll go through that process first. But a couple quick things before we get into it. So here we are. We're on the eve-ish, the eve of Thanksgiving. It's probably one of the most stressful days of the year when it comes to folks who are, for lack of a better term, changing the way they eat. Right? And, diet, if you want to call it, or changing their lifestyle as we really refer to it. So we're a couple days away from that, and it becomes stressful for a lot of people. And I want to give you a couple things to kind of chew on, so to speak. And so first and foremost, it's, I've done the math. There are 365 days a year, right? Most years. Generally speaking, there are 3 meals a day. So that's 1,095 opportunities for you to get this right in the next year. 1 out of 1,095 does not even register. It still rounds up to 100%. So we're talking about one meal here. I don't want you to overdo it in the sense where with stress. Not going to do you any good. It's not going to serve you well. What I want you to do is I want you to enjoy this holiday with your family. That's the most important part. Right? So a couple little things you can do, right? And, as we're grabbing your plate, spread some things around instead of the pile high of mashed potatoes, spread them wide. And it looks like it covers more. And so if you take a scoop of stuffing, spread it really thin and kind of have it cover the plate. It doesn't need to be piled to the top, and it can look like the plate is full. And so you can certainly get what you're looking for, track everything as we know, be accountable, but more importantly, enjoy it. So I want to share with you, here we are, we're a year away. If you remember last Thanksgiving for me, the probably hands down one of the best Thanksgivings ever for me. And the circumstances were not. The circumstances were probably the worst. But we made it the most. And so I want to kind of relay that story with you to kind of give you an idea of how much this holiday means. So for those of you who remember, Janine's father was facing a battle with cancer, and so we got the news that it just all of a sudden, we just needed to get down there and see him. So within a moment, literally, I made the decision in about 12 hours, and within 12 hours later, we were in the car driving to Florida. And so we drove from Indiana to Florida, and so just before I got there, we booked an Airbnb online. We stayed in a beach house that, it was a cute little house. Nothing I would ever want to live in long term, right? But a cute little house, and so we stayed there for a week because so we didn't want to inconvenience them. Conveniently, it was about a block away from their house, so it was absolutely perfect in that regard. We check into this little house, and not a lot of dishes. I don't think there was two forks that matched. There certainly weren't two plates that matched. And we decided we're going to have Thanksgiving dinner with her family. And when my mom and dad drove up, and her mom and dad were both there. And it was the last Thanksgiving that we were all together as a family. Everything we ate that day was microwavable, right? We didn't have, the rental house didn't have a lot of the amenities. We didn't go buy a big turkey. We had some turkey, we had some ham, we microwaved it up, we heated up some macaroni and cheese and we stirred it, right? So everything we had was microwavable. We didn't have any fancy plates. I don't think any of the plates matched. We didn't have a fancy tablecloth. What we had was our family, right? We had every single one of us just sitting there talking about life and being grateful for all that we had. Now, I don't even remember the food we had that day. I remember we had some, and I'm assuming it was turkey and some rolls, but I honestly don't remember. What I remember is sitting there with my family, not knowing what the future was going to hold. Certainly at the time, not really knowing that this was going to be the last Thanksgiving we had together. We kind of suspected as such, but we were hopeful. We were hoping that wasn't going to be the case. And so as we come on this holiday of giving thanks, it's what I want you to focus on. If the next morning you wake up and you regret what you ate, just kind of focus it back to who were you with when you did it? And what does that memory mean? And then make a plan for Friday, make a plan for Saturday, and kind of carry forth and go forward. So, as you sit right now and if you have already, great, but if you haven't yet and you started your Thanksgiving shopping, the week doesn't end on Thursday. So do your shopping, plan for Friday, plan for Saturday, and get right back to what matters most in your life is that you and your family and your health, because those are things you can't ever replace. So as we celebrate this day of giving thanks, that my family is certainly at the top of the list, and right underneath that is you. I consider you my extended family. I really do. And so I've had the chance to talk to so many of you through the patron calls, and we chat one-on-one, and it's the highlight of my day, I promise you. And I get to meet so many of you virtually, and we've actually finally talked. And so I give thanks for each and every one of you for being a part of this community, for writing in and sharing the amazing things going on in your life, and letting other people know that this is doable. It's important. It's hard work, but we can do it. And together, we are doing it. And so that's what I want to leave you with. Happy Thanksgiving to all of you. We have family coming into town, so I will probably be off the air for a good long period, at least through the weekend for certain. And so we'll certainly connect a little bit. I'll probably be off the grid as well. So happy Thanksgiving. This is my message to you. Thank you for being a very much a part of my life, and I just really, really appreciate it. So the first email of this show comes in out of Lincoln, Nebraska. Becky writes in, she says, "Hello. You clearly have the gift of sacrifice and service instilled in you and in your life. Thanks to you and the others like you hardly seems enough. I appreciate your podcast and either listen daily or binge listen if I've missed some. About 17 years ago, I lost 100 pounds with healthy eating and moderate exercise. I've maintained the loss, gaining and losing the same 20 pounds over and over. Honestly, I've never made it to goal. I'm currently 40 or 50 pounds above where I'd like to be. At 200, I'm well above a healthy range. This is my bazillionth time on WW. I can get to 188, I feel great, and then I begin the cycle all over. As I said, for years I've exercised and eaten healthy. I don't think it's complacent, but rather self-sabotage. I simply lack faith. I've been over the 150 goal for 95% of my adult life. My lack of faith quickly causes me to lose hope, stick to it, discipline in any sense of a different future. Do you have any advice for someone who does not understand steps or needed to push through to the next level? The unknown, as you describe? I'm currently 200 pounds and back at it, but mostly I just feel frustrated and sad. Thank you for your time and consideration. Wishing you goodness and blessings, Becky. Becky, I don't know if you noticed how you opened your second paragraph here, but you said about 17 years ago you lost 100 pounds, and for the most part have maintained that. Um, yeah, congratulations on that. That's a big deal. And I want you to pause for a moment and recognize how amazing of an accomplishment that is. And so, sure, I get that there's always more. I get that we want to do extra. I get all that. But what I really want you to focus on is 17 years ago, you were 100 pounds overweight with no care in the world as far as fixing it. And then one day you decided you wanted to do something about it. And that decision was strong. That decision was powerful. That decision carried you forward for 17 years, and that decision still sticks in your head today as you write this email. You've changed your life. You have completely changed your life. So I don't know if you want to call it complacency. I don't know if you want to call it self-sabotage. I don't even know that you even want to call it anything. But what I want to do is I want to call it amazing, and I want to call it congratulations, and I want to call it cool, and all those amazing words that say you've done something a lot of people aren't capable, a lot of people aren't able to do. Because we're all capable, right? There's not a single one of us that's not capable of doing this. And so you actually did it. And not only did you do it, you did it and you made it last for 17 years. And here you are just now saying, I want to tweak it just a little bit more. I want to get to goal. And I want to feel that last bit. Well, you do it the same way you got to this point, by not quitting. You do it by waking up every single morning and making the choices that align with the goals that you've set for yourself. You can call it self-sabotage. You can call it a little bit of balance. You can say that, what you're doing right now is you're kind of just floating, and that's kind of where you said, losing the same 20 pounds over and over again. I get that in your mind you're 40 or 50 pounds away from where you want to be. And so you're focused on the end result, and I really want you to focus on the journey. I want you to recognize that for 17 years you've been at this with tremendous amounts of success. And then I want you to reformulate, okay, what is the goal from here? What are your expectations from this point forward? The expectation from this point forward has to include that you maintain everything you've done for the last 17 years. And then if you want to add another level of expectation on top of that, you certainly can. And think about over the last 17 years. What have you done that's been so incredibly difficult? Right? And you've maintained your weight loss through that most difficult time. 17 years, there's a lot that happens in 17 years, and you've made it through successfully. Build on that strength and say, yeah, I can do this. And then really go through the 5 questions again and say, what's in my way? What's the next challenge? What's the next roadblock? What do I need to overcome next? And then finally take responsibility and say, I'm going to do this. And I caution you, and I don't want you to set number goals. I want you to set lifestyle goals. I want you to find out that what is it that you enjoy doing. You didn't maintain this 17-year amazing story accidentally. You've deliberately changed your life, and there are things that you're doing now that you didn't do 17 years ago, and you're doing them consistently. Build that routine up. Continue to wake up every single day, finding the things you enjoy doing and doing them properly and doing more of them, and you will get the results that you want. And I'm incredibly proud of you. And I know, I know that's not what you wanted to write into here. I know you wanted the answer. I know you wanted me to say, do this, the last 40 pounds will come off like clockwork, right? That's not how it works. And so what I want you to do is I want you to stop and pause and say, you're an amazing success story. You're an incredible success story. There are people all over the planet that would trade everything they have to have a 17-year, 100-pound weight loss, minus plus or minus 20, right? And you've done that. And so now we say, great, I want more. And that more is saying, what is the more? And what I want you to do is just go, okay, let me reframe, let me refocus, and build new routines on the things that I know I enjoy doing that work. Becky, keep up the amazing work. I'm incredibly proud of you, like I said. I can't wait to hear how you say, okay, I'm there, and let's ditch the frustration and the sadness. Replace it with celebration. Allow yourself to finally feel free. And then follow the plan that you know works and has worked so far for you. Likewise, wishing you true goodness and blessings on this wonderful, 2 days before Thanksgiving as we're recording it. I give thanks for you. I give thanks for stories like yours because it proves to other people that this can be done. So thank you. Out of West Boylston, Massachusetts, Sharon writes in, says, hey, Fat Dag. Hey, it's early Saturday morning, 4:30 a.m., 1 year on WW. Most likely the smartest, best decision I have ever made. I'm currently 4.5 pounds to goal, but a year ago I was staring down the road and saw nothing but depression and sickness. At only 5'3", I stepped on the scale and I was nearing 200 pounds. If you took a picture of my legs, you wouldn't have guessed I was a pound over 110. I was disfigured. I come from a long line of heavy midsections. Like so many, my family is close. Gatherings are often, and they are always packed with food. Mostly pasta, bread, and endless assortment of desserts. Everything was celebrated with food. Food was the cure for everything as well. Food was comfort. Food was a giant hug. I learned quickly as a child that if you were happy, sad, lonely, or angry, that food would be the answer. Fruit was like that weird food that would only be around sometimes, like, on the days on the beach or at a side or on the side of a plate at IHOP. You didn't eat the fruit unless the breakfast didn't fill you up. But let's face it, IHOP serves breakfast with a side of flapjack, so I'd never really get to the fruit. My mother put me on a diet when I was 8 or 9 during a short burst of her own adult life when she decided to be healthy. That lasted maybe 6 months. I remember her making me lots of soups and skim milk and making me eat better. I remember feeling sick and having digestive issues from the sudden overload of veggies. I vowed that diet was evil. The minute my mother's get healthy phase phased out, we resumed our normal eating. I remember being 12 and weighing close to 150 pounds. I've struggled my whole life with self-esteem issues, daddy abandonment issues, and confidence that just didn't exist. Fast forward to a year ago, nearing 200 pounds, I wondered, how? How am I going to do this? I don't really like veggies, and I can't imagine my coffee without extra cream and sugar. I only knew this. I needed to make a change. My asthma was at its worst. I had heartburn and indigestion daily. I was seeing a therapist for extreme anxiety and panic attack episodes, some that brought me rides to the hospital. I was spiraling out of control, all while my own 2 children watched. I started tracking and I lost 5 pounds my first week. I felt so encouraged. I started walking. Before I knew it, I was down 20 pounds, then 30, then 40, then 50, then the 50-pound charm arrived in the mail. I felt on top of the world. Now I hit my 1-year mark and I'm down 55.5 pounds. There were days I fell on my face, but I got up and I kept going. There were days I killed it only to end the day in disaster, but I continued on. It truly is a journey and unique to each. I haven't had heartburn or indigestion for a year now. I stopped snoring and choking in the night on the stomach acid that was backing up and literally wearing away the lining of my esophagus. I'm 41 years old with 2 boys ages 13 and 11. Both require a lot of me, but being dosed with severe ADHD. I can't help but wonder if I'm at fault for that. Maybe it was my processed diet. Maybe if I ate healthy during pregnancy, my children would not be struggling today. My why in all of this? Them. I want to live by example and show them we can be healthy and happy at the same time. Now, instead of them watching me eat my emotions, they are witnessing their mom changing her life and her body, not to mention her moods and her energy levels. Am I perfect every day? Far from it. Did I lose weight by going to the gym for hours a day? Never. Did I walk a straight line to goal? Nope. I stayed on the path, occasionally grabbing a bench or tripping over my own feet, but one thing was different. I forgave myself and I kept walking. I started becoming interested in what goes in my mouth. Being aware is the key, coming to terms with your own life shortcomings and allowing yourself to feel those emotions instead of burying them so they can keep creeping back up on you. Your podcast is my jam every day on the way to work, and I truly find you and the listeners, writers, inspiring. Thank you for your service and your passion to helping others. I, too, believe in you. Sincerely, Sharon. Sharon, what an amazing, amazing story of victory and triumph as you come through this full circle. And so I want to go all the way back to the beginning. First and foremost, congrats on your 55.5 pound weight loss. That's life-changing, right? And we talked earlier, 100 pounds lost for 17 years. Amazing. Life-changing. 55 pounds, life-changing. You've done that. You did it deliberately. You did it by saying, I'm tired of living this. I want to fix this once and for all for me, and you've done it. But your story is amazing. Your story shows someone who had to figure it out, and you didn't have the right tools, I should say, right? You had WW, you had some other things, but you really you had to just kind of trial and error your way through this, and you did. And you go all the way back to the beginning, and when you talked about food being the fruit being the only thing you'd eat only if there was not you were full or nothing left on your plate, I should say. That was that's kind of how I grew up as well, right? Fruit was not something. I mean, it was there, but there was so much else. Why would you choose the apple? There was no reason to. There was so much else that was available, and it reminded me of a story that I've been sharing lately, where when I was a young kid, played Little League baseball, and when we won a game. Right, the first thing we did, you guys can probably guess where we went. Every time we won a game, there was a trip. Any guesses where? Right. There was a trip to Dairy Joy or Dairy Queen or some sort of ice cream parlor if we won a game. So early on, I learned that a true celebration ends with ice cream. Right, and so later on in life, if something great happened and I didn't have an ice cream to celebrate with it, my brain kind of said it really wasn't that big of a deal. Right? So we go through this process of what we are doing daily in our habits, what we do more often and more often, it then starts sending the signal to the brain of this is what is quote unquote normal. So I have a hypothesis, and if you're a research scientist out there, let's work with me on this, right? My hypothesis is in a controlled environment, we could take a little league team of boys or girls, right? We take a little league team that are playing baseball, and we say, if and they're not exposed to any of this pre-ice cream stuff. And if they win a game, win the World Series, they win the championship, we hand them a book, right? And we say, congratulations, what an amazing victory. Here's a book to go read, right? And so, obviously we kind of joke at that, but think about that. If we said, if you win, let's give you a book, and slowly but surely, it would be fun to follow them for 30 years and see, hey, when they're 30 years old and they get a big promotion at work, do they run to Barnes & Noble and buy a book? Because what's happening is there are things that we do in our life that we have trained ourselves to do. And so for the most part, many of us don't understand the true definition of hunger. We're very fortunate in that sense. And I say this judgmentally, right? If you're watching on Facebook, and you probably have the ability to have something to eat. Hopefully, you do. And so again, if you don't, then that's a whole different conversation. But from the broader sense, we found this part of ourself that we don't know how to identify. It could be boredom, it could be anger, it could be excitement, it could be joy. And so we've masked that, and we don't really understand what that feeling is called. And so sometimes we call it hunger. And so therefore, when something tragic happens, we say we're hungry. When something exciting happens, we say, I need an ice cream. I'm hungry. And so we've then labeled it. And so it sounds like a lot of your life has been in that same lane because you learn quickly that, same thing, you're happy, sad, lonely, or angry, that food would be the answer. So I caution and pause, and I ask each and every one of you is the next time you say the words, I'm hungry, truly ask yourself if that's true or not. And it may be, but I think for a lot of us, it's not entirely true. It may have been 4 or 5 hours since your last meal, so there is a hunger feeling, but it's not true hunger. Right? If you had lab work in the morning, you'd be okay. You'd continue your fast and you'd make it to your lab work. Right? And so when we get down to understanding and identifying these emotions that control us, let's label them with what they truly are, and not simply throw out the term of let's just call it hunger because we don't know how else to describe it. So as you lived your life and your mom, put you on and off a diet at a young age, you start learning those same things. So much of what you're going through is learned behavior. And so now when you identify it, then what we have to do is we have to unlearn some of that behavior. And we can't simply say, I'm going to now stop doing that. We have to substitute it with something new. We have to retrain that behavior. And so it's why I say we now have to, offer a book as a celebration, or something else along those lines where you say, okay, this is how I'm going to choose to celebrate. If I'm angry, I'm going to go for a walk. If I'm tired, I'm going to lay down for a nap. And so then you start training yourself that when this emotion arrives, let's name it. Let's not give it the default name of hunger because generally speaking, it's not the true emotion that we're after. So Sharon, you've done amazing work. Congratulations on being a complete role model to your children. Being the prize is the most valuable thing you can do. Showing them that mom can do this. Mom can do anything she sets her mind to. Mom is a very capable woman, capable of so much more than you ever would understand. And for them to witness that firsthand is the most amazing gift that you can give them. And so you give them a house full of love and you give them all the joy, and that resonates because you finally feel good about where you are in your journey. And as you feel good, that's when we say you've taken care of you first, and that extends to the rest of the household because now that you feel really good, they get to see what that looks like and feels like, and they get to be a part of that success story. It all started when you said the most powerful word you said in your email. I forgave myself and kept walking. That's where it starts, folks. It's forgive yourself. It doesn't matter where you are today. It doesn't matter where you're headed. It doesn't matter where you came from. Get to the point where you say, I forgive myself. It's okay. Part of my life that I'm living now is because of things that happened to me that I didn't know how to react to back when they happened. And that's okay. Because now I'm going to tackle them head on and I'm going to make a change. And I'm going to keep walking because that's what we do. That's what strong people do. They get up and say, I'm doing this because, and they keep going. And so you have done that for your entire family. You've given yourself the gift of health. You've given your family the gift of health. And you've done that by simple words of forgiveness. Man, I'm incredibly proud of you. It's super duper proud of you. And so being now interested in what's happening in your world and what you're eating and the value of it. And so now the education really comes in. And you really start assessing and evaluating is if I'm not hungry, is this going to solve it? Is this the right thing nutritionally that I need to be eating in this moment to give me the energy, to give me the passion, to give me the power to continue to be an amazing role model for my two boys? And so when you take that interest in truly what you're eating, rather than eating in default mode because of a reaction or a habit, you've completely changed your life. So congratulations on your 55.5-pound weight loss. I'm proud of you. Incredibly proud of you. And thanks for writing in and sharing so much goodness in your world. Last email for the show comes out of Jefferson City, Missouri. Marge writes in. She says, okay, I admit it. I need help. I'm 29 months into my journey. I have successfully lost 115 pounds, and I'm extremely proud of that accomplishment. As happy and as proud as I am so frustrated that I cannot seem to lose my final 10 pounds to get to my goal, my doctor's goal. I've been up and down with the same 5 pounds since January of this year. Why can I not reach my goal and start my maintenance process? What is different? Where's my determination? Where's my commitment? If I could only string good days and good weeks together. Help me get there, Fat Dag. I need to reach my goal. Thanks for your help, Marge. And Marge says, P.S. I'm 66 years old, and this is my umpteenth time with WW. Never, ever reached lifetime. Marge, 115 pounds. I'm proud of you as well. I'm glad to see that you ended that sentence with, I'm proud of my accomplishment. That's the most important piece. You cannot lose 115 pounds accidentally. You cannot lose 100 pounds and maintain it for 17 years accidentally. You cannot lose 55 and a half pounds accidentally. So every single pound we've lost, no matter who we are, we've done it intentionally, deliberately, and we have taken control to do it. Celebrate that. Every single one of you. Celebrate it. I don't care if you're on day one and you've lost a millimeter or a half a pound or whatever the word is, right? I don't care what that number is. If you've lost any single number intentionally, celebrate it. Celebrate the next one. Because that's what we're truly after, and as we go through. And so Marge says, I'm happy and I'm proud. But then instead of true celebration, we have to caveat that with, but I'm also frustrated because I can't lose the last 10 pounds. I'm pretty sure, Marge, had we had this conversation back when you started 29 months ago, and I said, hey, all I know is you're capable of losing 115 pounds. Will you take it? And I can offer some sort of guarantee. You would have jumped at the chance. You would have jumped at it. You would have said, absolutely, I'll take it. I'll give me 115 pounds. I'll take it. So I want you to recognize that how far you've come is a goal that you would have set. Now that you're here and you're feeling good, I'm with you. We want to figure out these last 10, but why 10? And I get that that's a range that your doctor gave you, but let's be honest, right? Your doctor and you talking together. I love doctors, by the way, and I there's a lot that listen to this show, and so please write in if I'm completely off base here because I'd be interested to hear. But here's what I know about every visit I've had with the doctor. I said this a couple episodes ago too. The doctor certainly asks what your goals are and what's going on, and they start diagnosing you based on things you share with them. Like I said, they don't start running tests and then go, okay, now how do you feel? The first thing they do is they start having a conversation. So I don't know how the conversation with your doctor goes, but if your conversation starts with, I'm frustrated, I want to lose these last 10 pounds, your doctor is probably going to support that for you. Instead, I want you at your next visit to have a real honest discussion about what losing 115 pounds and maintaining that for now 29 months has done to your life. And I don't even want you to talk about where we should end up. I want you to simply say, Doc, can you imagine? I just lost 115 pounds and I maintained it for 29 years. And don't throw in but I really want to lose 10 more, because if you say that, your doctor will say, how can I help you? How can I support that? Right? And so hopefully your blood work is all good. Hopefully all your levels are good. And so that should be the priority. Now, WW has recognized this, and there are actually 3 ways to make goal. There's a popular way that we know of hitting your height and weight inside a BMI chart and maintaining that weight. That's goal, right? That's goal. You maintain that, you get to lifetime. Perfect. Then there is the doctor's approved goal, right? That's you and your doctor meeting. It's an amazing way to have a set a goal. Your doctor says, here's what I think you should weigh. You guys agree. Check in frequently to make sure that number is accurate for where you truly are in your journey. That's number 2. But the third way to make goal, there's really 3. The third way to make goal is you just saying I made goal. And you call it goal. And so I got a lot of pushback many months ago, right? When I was not at the WW approved goal. I'm within a range that my doctor is okay with. Maybe a little bit here and there, right? I don't really know. We don't talk about it. We talk about other stuff. But I'm at goal. And the reason I say I'm at goal, I'm happy. I have a great wife. I have an amazing daughter. I'm relatively fit. I got some feet issues, right? But that's just medical things that are happening now. I celebrate every day. I'm thankful every day. Man, my life is joyful. That's goal for me. I don't care what the scale says in some regard, right? Because that doesn't define me. We said that all along. So you get to pick what you consider your goal weight. Now, certainly there are some program rules that talk about the free membership as being a lifetime, and those certainly require your doctor. They require a BMI chart, but the reality is at 66 years old, You've lost 115 pounds. You have saved your life. And so I want you to, as you said it in your email, I want you to believe it a little differently. Be proud of what you've done, and be happy, and don't even let the frustration come into play, because a little bit of frustration is robbing you of the joy of what you've truly accomplished. You use the same words. You use frustration and pride in the same sentence. So I'm very happy, but I'm very excited, but I'm amazing, but no. It's not how it works. It is be happy, be proud. And so now what you do is you get rid of the expectation that you have to lose 10 more pounds, right? Because if you don't lose another pound from here on out, and you for the rest of your life you maintain a 115-pound weight loss, that's an incredible success story. Incredible success story. If you don't lose a single pound from this point on, I don't have a feeling that's what's going to happen. I have a feeling what's going to happen though is as you get rid of the frustration and as you get rid of the that is holding you back from really celebrating all that you've accomplished, and you dig deep into how was I able to do this? What things in my life have I changed? What have I modified to give myself this amazing gift that I've given myself? How do I do more of that? How do I enjoy the life that I've given myself? 29 months ago, there are things you're doing now you were not capable of doing 29 months ago. Go do more of them. Go enjoy your life. Being mindful that the reason you have this life is because you've taken control of yourself and you made it happen. And to continue to take control of yourself and continue to make things happen without the frustration of we have this unreal expectation that we should be doing more and more. And see what happens at that point. Give yourself some time to enjoy this new life you've given yourself. Truly, truly enjoy it. Celebrate every single day, every single one of those 115 pounds, and go be amazing. You've given yourself the gift of life. Go use it. And allow yourself to not be frustrated at that point. So thanks for certainly writing in, Marge. It's really awesome to hear an amazing story. On this show, we had 115 pounds, we had 55 and a half, and 100-pound weight loss in one episode. Life changing. There's reason there to sit around the Thanksgiving dinner table and be thankful for everything that you've given to yourself and that you've shared with our community. So, folks, I want you to celebrate. I really do. That's the whole point in everything we do here is celebrate all that you have done right. There will always be opportunities for you to find things that you could do better and more, but I don't want you to focus there. I want you to push yourself a little bit, but the true reality is I want you to focus on everything that you have done right and do them again and do more of them and keep doing them and just continue to celebrate. What is it that you're celebrating? Let's share it on the air. Go to fatdag.com, click on the Wise Advice Podcast link, send in your celebrations, your comments, your questions, and I'll work them in as part of the show. I want you to email in your celebrations because I want you to be proud of what you're doing. I had an amazing phone call today in the Patreon community. Once, there's a link out there where you can book yourself directly on my calendar. Just before we went live on the show, had an amazing call with a lady. I won't use her name because we didn't talk about it, but an amazing call. And she talked about her journey and some of the things that she did in her journey and the strength that she has and the amazing perseverance she had. And in her brain, she's like, it's not that big of a deal type thing. Like that wasn't worthy of sharing. And we talked through it. And I said, you have the ability right now with your story, with the strength that you have shown to conquer your own story. You have the ability to prevent somebody else from living it. That's what this show is all about. And that's why I ask you to write in because what you have gone through, what you have persevered through, what you have overcome, has been, for a lot of us, it's been miserable, right? And we don't ever want to go through it again. And there are other people facing same challenges that you may have years ago, and you hold the secret. You have the ability to prevent them from reliving some of the mistakes that you've lived. And it all comes from you writing in and saying, here's what happened to me. Here's how I overcame it. Here's what I saw. And then now somebody else hears that story and becomes inspired and becomes motivated because of your words. I've said it more than once, right? If we simply relied on me and my journey alone, there's so much missing. There's a lot of life I have yet to experience. In some ways, very thankful I haven't. Other ways, regretful that I wish I could, right? But there are so many things I've yet to experience, so I can't possibly cover every single scenario. So send it in. You can save someone else from going through everything that you went through, and you can motivate them to keep going. That's why we do this. Folks, that's going to do it for this time. Remember that losing weight and getting healthy has nothing to do with luck. You have to remain disciplined and focused. Set your sights on your goal and go after it. On behalf of my producers, Heather and Lisa, we wish you happy Thanksgiving and very, very good focus. Whoop, whoop. All right. So that was fun. So let me see something here. Again, still having trouble connecting to Facebook comments. So here's what I'll do. I'll wrap it up and I'll go into Facebook and kind of reply in there. I'll just join you over there text-wise over there. So, but on that note, truly, I hope you heard what I said at the beginning of the show. If you didn't, please go back and re-listen. Sorry, I forgot the microphone's over here. I hope you heard what I said at the beginning of the show. If not, please go back and re-listen. This holiday coming up is about you and your family. It's about all the amazing memories that you're going to make, and I want you to go celebrate them. Celebrate them well. You deserve it. You've earned it. Take care of your health. That's the most important thing you'll ever have. So I wish you good focus. Bye-bye.